we weren't even home yet. And the doctor called me and she said, well, I've got some bad news for you. Your labs are looking pretty off the charts for you and I need you to go to the emergency room. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, this video is going to be very different than my normal videos. And for all my other subscribers, welcome back. Today's video is going to be sharing how I'm recuperating from a hospitalization and dealing with all the anxiety that goes with chronic illness. So I'm sitting at my computer and I decided out of the blue just to pick up my phone. Not my camera. I have nothing scripted, and obviously I haven't prepared for anything. I just really wanted to get on and update you on my health because I've had a lot of wonderful followers on Instagram that have been asking me, how I'm doing, what's going on, kind of unscripted vlog. You know, if you see my other videos, this is not my style. I tend to like scripted, orderly, managed fashion, but I've just been having a lot of feelings lately regarding recovery and the setback this last time, and it's kind of hit me emotionally, and I thought, well, now's a good time as ever to talk the real talk and not the scripted talk. Normally people ask me, oh, how you doing, how you feeling, or whatever. I will always say I'm fine. Before I can even think about how I feel, my natural response is I'm fine. Am I wrong with this? Does anyone else feel like this if you have a chronic illness? It's just easier to say I'm fine. But I'm getting off on a tangent, but this reminded me of a time when I was treating a patient, and he was actually a psychologist. I was treating him for his shoulder at the time, but he had told me when I asked him how he was, I'm fine, and then he joked, well, that's what my patients say, and you know what an acronym for that is. And it was just kind of a joke, but you can see the writing between the words. Fine, I'm fine, oh, I'm fine, or I'm good, because that stops me from having to go into detail with what is actually going on, because usually it's quite complicated and people don't really care to know that much information. It tends to be repetitive information and not exactly the most happy of information, so who wants to talk about depressing real life stuff? So it's really easy just to say, I'm fine, I'm fine. I tend to do it in the doctor's office as well. It's not intentional. It's fear-based, I feel. Like fear of, if I tell you how I'm feeling, is there going to be a test that I'm going to have to go through? Is there going to be more testing? Is there going to be scarier answers? Is there more medication? Will those medications have side effects? The whole life journey of chronic illness, basically. I've been dealing with this for 26 years and I still have amazing anxiety when I'm sick, and amazing defense mechanisms and avoidance techniques. So I don't know. Hopefully I'll get over that. Interestingly enough, I was actually thinking, oh, maybe I should do a video. Maybe I should talk about the real life, what's going on. I should update everybody and all this stuff, right? Well, so I got on YouTube and I thought, well, what other videos are out there? Is there anything like that? How should I title this video? So I typed in recovery, health, recovery, hospitalization, recovery, health at home. But basically when I typed those in, most of the videos recommendations were for anxiety, depression, and mental health. How ironic. Now, I am normally a very pleasant, happy-go-lucky person, and I do focus on all the joy and laughter and everything I can, but when I have a setback, and particularly this last one, it is really hard to get out of my skin and to get forward. I have a terrible personality that I like to control things. I like things done in an orderly fashion. I like to have a list and a plan and a timeline for everything. And when there's an illness, then all of that goes out the window. There is no timeline. You don't plan when you're going to get sick. You don't plan when you're going to recover. You can't make plans for anything because you don't know when you're going to feel better or how you're going to feel. And that's really hard on somebody that has to have order in their life and routine and organization. But Instagram is the most amazing community, and that's where I started realizing it was okay to share my feelings, because by sharing my feelings, I'm helping others, because they were helping me. I would see posts from people, you know, they'd vlog from their hospital bed, they'd post from their hospital bed, the updates on the hospital bed, and I'd read them and be like, oh boy, can I relate to that? Or, you know, maybe I could give that person a suggestion of something that helped me. So this year one of the things is I have lupus, which is an autoimmune disease. I'll just kind of outline it real quick, that affects basically your entire body. And your body fights against itself because it doesn't recognize itself, if you will, and it attacks it, thinking, how do I explain this simply? My body attacks itself, not recognizing itself, and it thinks it's protecting me from harmful invaders, if you will, if I want to really simplify this. And instead, my body attacks its own cells. So in order to treat that, I have to take immunosuppression therapy. So basically what that means is I take medications that lower my ability to fight infections, because it's also lowering my ability to attack itself, and a real simplified understanding, if you will. With that becomes side effects of being susceptible to infections. On top of that, I had a kidney transplant 6 years ago. And when I had the transplant, my lupus, which is my main diagnosis, really went stable. Like it didn't go away. I did not go into remission. Yes, I still had flares, but they were so minor that it was very enjoyable. So it's new to me this last couple of years with the flares, knowing exactly, is this a flare? Is this not a flare? And most recently, my son had a virus and I had all the symptoms. So I was like, it's just the virus, just relax. You don't have to do anything, just rest. It's going to be okay. My son is a very healthy 17-year-old young man, and he had it for about a day, maybe a day and a half lingering, but he was pretty much good to go. Previously, we had gone to a pediatrician office for his sports physical for the new school year. And that's the only thing I can think of, is that we picked this virus up at the pediatrician office. I don't know. I'm guessing here. I'm grasping for straws. Regardless of how we got this virus, it was a virus that you would get a very bad headache. Your body would ache similar to the flu and be very nauseous. Okay. Well, all those symptoms are also can be lupus related. But since my son had the same symptoms, I was like, this is what it is. And I'm still pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway. My son got better. It took me 2.5 days, which I was like, okay, it's just going to take me longer because of my immune system. I take longer to recover from anything. And in that time, I wasn't drinking very much, and I was not eating except crackers, and I did drink water, and I had anti-nausea medication because I'm required to take medication so that I don't reject my kidney. And I was already nauseous, and I couldn't risk vomiting, if you will, those medications. So I take anti-nausea medications. So I was drinking very little water. That's very bad when you have a kidney transplant, and I know that, but when you're in the situation, when I'm in the situation, I'm like, it's okay, tomorrow's gonna be better, or it'll be better in an hour, it'll be better this afternoon. And I just keep ignoring all the things that I should know better. And just because I'm going to be better tomorrow, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to see any doctors. I don't have to do anything. I'm going to be okay. And I was almost through with everything. And I was just starting to get back to drinking better and eating, getting my appetite. I was still very nauseous and I was still very dizzy. But I thought, the worst part is gone. The headache is gone. The muscle ache is very little. So this can't be lupus, because usually if lupus attacks that hard, it takes quite a bit of medication to get it under control. And it doesn't leave that quickly. So I was like, yep, it's just the virus, we're good to go. Then I had a bladder spasm, and I thought, oh crap, it's Friday, and unfortunately this year I've had complications with bladder infections. And because I have a kidney transplant, I have to be very careful that the infection doesn't get to the kidney. So then panic sets in, and I'm all about protecting this kidney because I had a very precious donor give it to me, and it's a gift. It's a gift of life, and I need to do everything I can to protect this kidney. So then I don't care if I have to go to the doctor. I don't care anything. I just got to make sure this kidney is okay. So I was able to get into my doctor that day. And at the time, I'd only had a slight bladder spasm, but I was in panic mode, and it was Friday. And unfortunately, I've had 3 of these severe infections this year, and they aren't as simple as a bladder spasm. So I thought, oh, hopefully this is not it, but we're just going to get it rolled out. And I was still feeling crappy from the virus that I had. So I went to the doctor, and my doctor was busy, so I saw a different doctor that wasn't familiar with me. However, she read my health history and decided she would do blood work to see how my kidney was functioning. And we did the urine test to see for the infection. And the blood, nothing had come back yet. So because I don't respond to antibiotics greatly, that's new this year, I was given 2 injections of antibiotics before I left, and then I was going to pick up antibiotics and take them the next day. This was kind of like a booster to get the antibiotics going. I did have a bladder infection, but the blood results weren't back yet. We weren't even home yet, and my son was driving, thankfully, because I was just so dizzy and lightheaded. I just knew it wasn't safe. And the doctor called me, and she said, well, I've got some bad news for you. Your labs are looking pretty off the charts for you, and I need you to go to the emergency room. So we were close to home. I packed the essentials for the emergency room, and they told me that my kidney function was affected by this infection, but I was also dehydrated, and dehydration can throw your levels off. My port was accessed, and I was hooked up to IV hydration. I had already received 2 shots of antibiotics at the doctor's office, so I wasn't due for another set of antibiotics till the next day. I was then transported to ultrasound to have a visualization of my kidney to check that the transplant was doing okay, and there was no damage. I was admitted to the hospital where they could monitor my labs. They gave me continuous IV hydration and followed up with more antibiotics. And then I was able to go home. Pointer tip here, if you saw in the picture, always bring your own pillow from home. It makes a world of difference. So regardless of what the diagnosis is and whatnot, I got the IV antibiotics, which worked the best for me. I got the hydration, and I started to feel better, and I got to go home. However, we're on, let's see, I had the infection. I had the virus a couple days, and then, so I'm on week 2 from being home from the hospital, and I'm still so dog tired. I did do follow-up lab work, and things were stabilized. There wasn't, let's just say they were stabilized. And I'll be doing blood work next Tuesday. But I am so dog tired, and living with this disease that takes your life out of your control and puts everything on hold drives me absolutely insane. I mean, we have lives to lead, and I can't just, oh, it's so frustrating. So anyway, I'm at my computer, and I thought, well, why not just do a real life video explaining this frustration? So you're not alone if you're dealing with this, because I know, like, my husband's at a meeting right now. It was a potluck meeting, and my son's out with friends. But it's also a holiday weekend, and we usually do a lot of things, and I couldn't plan anything because I just have no energy. Everything that you want to do is like put on hold, and I feel like the world, I actually have a ceiling fan that's revolving, so it's kind of making me think about like the world's going on around me, and I'm just sitting here waiting for my next nap. Just want this hell to be over. I really wish they would come up with some kind of cure for these dang chronic illnesses that take life literally away from you. Now, you're finding me at a bad time, and I don't even know if I'm going to post this video, but it's a rant, and it's to let you know that if you're dealing with this crap, you're not alone. I've been there, I'm there right now, and God help me. I will hopefully get over this and get some energy back very soon, because I'm very impatient at the moment. Lots to do, lots I want to do. I will end this video with a scene from my hospital room. It was just gorgeous watching the sunset. However, I want to thank you all for staying tuned and listening to my rant. The whole purpose is so if you're going through this kind of crap, you're not alone. I really appreciate it. If you did like this channel, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out greatly as I'm growing and discovering what I need to be doing here on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. If you need more, please hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell, and it'll let you know when I upload more videos. Have a great day. Bye!